Good morning everybody, this is Debbie. I am coming to you from the Bohin needle factory in France. This is our special treat. This is going to show you exactly how the needles are made, your Bohin needles and your Bohin pins. It's very exciting. I'm going to swing this around to show you the name. Right here, Bohin, I know you recognize this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the production workshop right now. It's going to be noisy in here. I'm going to do the best that I can. But basically, I will take you from beginning to end of making the needles. So we start here in stage one. These are the wires that are used to make the Bohin needles. The wire is made from fine carbon steel and it is covered with copper because carbon steel is very dry. It's covered with copper so that it will pass through the first lot of machines. Okay, and it also won't oxidize if the copper is on it as it's been through these first processes. So here I choose the wire and it goes through the rotating clamps and it breaks down the neutral fibers so that it will make the wire lay flat instead of it being all curved this way. You see that? And this is it in the machine right here. They're making it lay flat with this machine. As I said, it's going to get a bit noisy in here, I apologise. Also, I couldn't do this as a live because my Facebook wouldn't stream in here. And then they have, they cut into lengths. You see this length right here? They cut into lengths of wire and both ends of the length are sharpened. Sharpened this end and this end right here. So it's one long piece, both ends are sharpened to give the point of the needle, okay? Once they've done, oh here's a good picture of that. So this is both ends have been sharpened. Once they've done this, they're going to eventually separate in two. I'm going to show you that right here. You can see this is the long piece, and they stamp in the center, right here. They stamp, and they put a little divot in there where the eye needle eventually is going to be. And this is all the machinery that is going to do this. And so you end up with it looking like this. Here are your 2 points on your needle, and here is the center of that long rod, and each side of the center line has been scored with a stamp, and actually this one is also, they've already put the hole in this one, so it's been stamped, and then where the stamp is, they go ahead and they put the hole in it. So now you've got this one needle, 2 needles, and then it will be divided in the center here, okay? There's a lot of machinery in here, and it depends where they are in the process of making needles to which machines are active at this time. This machine that the chap's working on here, these are for the needles that come out of the initial processing, and they're too long or they're too wide, and so he manually checks all of these right here, and these oversized ones often end up being mattress needles that have a rectangular point for leather, and also the large presses work on sail needles too. So you can see these are larger. Okay, so they scored them, they turn that one long thing into 2 needles, and then they separate them, and here's the 2, that's that one long piece separated into 2 needles right here. You see this? And once it's separated, then they have to polish these ends to get the burrs off. And this is a chap right here polishing the ends to get the burrs off. You see that? And they actually put them on a piece of wire, and I'll show you this in a little while. They put them on a piece of wire to hold them while they're doing it. They thread all the eyes with that piece of wire, piece of metal, They thread all the eyes onto a piece of metal so they can do that. And again, this is a close-up of the eye heads, the needle heads being polished right here. These are just all the sparks. And again, these are the machines. They're just not actually doing that at this time. There we go. All right. So, and then this is a vacuum pump right here. And the vacuum pump is used when they're doing the stamping and the pressing of the needles. It holds the needles in place on the machine, and the vacuum holds the needles in place on the machine, but also it pulls out the debris from when they actually put the hole in the needle. So this vacuum pump works a couple of machines in here. Oh, here's the rods. So these are the metal rods right here. See these? And the needle eyes are thread onto these metal rods, and then it's clamped. Once it's on the metal rod, it's clamped, and then these ends can be polished. Here it is again now. It's very cool. So, as I say, it is a bit noisy in here. Okay, so now what they have to do a hot bath and tempering. Okay, now listen to this. When they're doing their original hot bath, the furnace is heated to 1535 degrees Fahrenheit. Can you believe that? 1535 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it's put into a very cold oil bath, and that abruptly changes the temperature from hot to cold, and it stiffens the steel, making the needles really, really hard. The needle is very hard, but it breaks easy when it's as hard as that. So what they have to do is, they then have to, after they put it into the cold dip, then they have to feed it back into an oil furnace and reheat to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and that will make the needle flexible. You know, when you're sewing with a needle, you need a little bit of flexibility in there. So putting it into that second warming oil will make it flexible. You'll have the strength from the first tempering, but you'll have the flexibility from the second tempering. And then they have to be salted, so all the needles get dumped onto this tray right here. And the tray has to be shaken just right. Can you see all the needles at the end? There. And of course it's a particular method of shaking that tray to get them all lined up and organised. There was a little video here, but I don't know. Oh, here it is. These are all the pins being thrown into that machine, and then you see they just go in any old how. And then this chap has to shake this machine just so, and he'll shake all those pins down. And there, I think it's 100,000 pin needles end up here. 100,000 needles. That's a lot. It's a lot of shaking. So when they've done all of this, then they have to be dried, okay? And need to get rid of any oil residue. So they put them in sawdust. It's called the winnowing process, and it's a rotating barrel filled with sawdust, and will take out any excess liquid and moisture. Okay, they have to do that in order to move on to the next steps. So this is the winnowing machine. Oh, here's a winnowing machine right here. This is inside of a winnowing machine, and this is it's being poured out. You can see all the sawdust coming with it, all the sawdust. But these needles are now very, very dry. Okay, we're going to come back to this. We're going to go here. So then there's the polishing process. Now, in the polishing process, they wrap everything in a huge canvas roll that has an abrasive, covered with oil and abrasive. Guess what? This is a 4-day process per batch. Here it is being wrapped up with an abrasive. So this is the canvas it gets tied into, and then this gets tumbled and rotated. It stays in the canvas, but the abrasive is inside. They do this for 4 days per batch. They're polishing your needles for 4 days, people. Isn't that wild? This is why Bohin needles are so good. Everything is so precise. Quality control is phenomenal. When it comes out of the canvas, oh yes, and 100,000 needles in each canvas. It comes out of the canvas, and then they have to plate, nickel plate them to stop them from corroding. Right here, and again, this is the machinery. It's not working right now, but the final stage there is the nickel plating. And then after the nickel plating, they will be again dried, and they will then again go through that winnow-in process with the sawdust, and then they transfer them into boxes right here, and from these boxes they will then be organized and distributed into what we know are our little tiny packages of needles, right? Each little package of needles is on a canvas ribbon. But I have to show you this because I love this, and I learned something today that I didn't know. The glass head pins of Bohin are actually made from Murano glass. I didn't know that, and if you know me, you know I do like a Murano glass. But can you see this machine right here? These are glass rods, Murano glass rods coming down here. See, that is a Murano glass rod. There it is, you see? And it gets, with heat, gets broken off and placed onto the end of each pin right here. And that's your Bohin pins being made. So go ahead. He's about to turn them off, I think. They show this one. This one is a blue glass rod. It's the same process though. You can see that the heat is burning the end of the glass rod, and it's being molded onto the end of the pen. So let's come around here. You should be able to see the pins coming down. How neat that is. There they are. Can you see them? Those are your Bohin pins being made, people. I'm just going to walk back there so you can see. Quite a process. So I'm going to tell you goodbye for now, because when I open this door there is actually a coachload of people on the other side of this door. So I really hope you enjoyed that. It's very, very interesting here, and buy your Bohin pins because they're good quality. We'll speak to you later. Bye bye.